let me tell you something. If you're trying to trade options and you're not a literal genius, which there's a small likelihood that you are, then you're going to be poor and you're going to keep being poor forever. So if you're one of these people who think you're going to get rich by picking up your phone and picking up some course or some shit like that, and then you're going to day trade your way to like $1 million in like a year, like you're just not. And if I get 10 million people, no, if I get 100 million people who view this video, maybe I'll be wrong about one of you. But let me just save you the time and money. We're going to go through 7 reasons why options trading are going to keep you poor if you keep doing them. And I'm honestly just going to jump right into it. And this is probably going to be controversial because people who trade options are people who are in a financial cult, in my opinion. That's neither here nor there. So, number 1, the reason that options trading will keep you poor is because you really can't predict the market short term. And that's like what this game is. This game is predicated on, I know what's going to happen by this date. And it's always like, I don't know, 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or something. And you have no idea. COVID might happen, or interest rates might change or not change unexpectedly. So you're playing a losing game if you're sitting there thinking you have like some kind of inside information. If you had inside information, you could probably make a lot of money options trading, but I'm pretty sure that would be illegal. Number 2, a lot of the people I see online are talking about using leverage to trade options, which is even worse. Using leverage to trade options, in my opinion, is like taking out a loan to go to the casino, because that's what these people are, man. If you're trading options, and like I said, you're not a genius who works for like some hedge fund, which you're not, then you're just a fancy gambler. And you might have the people around you fooled, but you don't have the people, you don't have me fooled. And if you're one of these young people and you're like listening to one of these degenerate gamblers dressed in a suit, just like, dude, save yourself the time. Look at their audience. Look at the things that they're going for. These are not people who are establishing real wealth. All right, well, that actually brings me to my next point, which is you're not building anything. Like if you're a value investor or a long-term investor, you're building equity, and you can see that the actual amount of like assets, the amount of shit you have grows every single year. Like no option trader can tell you that. They're just like, oh, I made $1 zillion this year, and you see them like sitting in a Lambo or like with a cigar or something like that. But it doesn't tell you anything about their actual wealth. It just tells you they had a lot of money this year, and that can be gone tomorrow if they lose their money. Which feeds right into the 4th point, actually. And that is the gambler's fallacy. Like, even if you are winning, so say you're one of these people in the Lambos, right? And you're winning in the short term, like, you're just going to keep gambling with your money. They never know when enough is enough. The same way they go to the casino. So, like, you might be on a hot streak for, like, 3 months, 6 months, even a year, and that's great. But because you've got this, like, tolerance or this, like, appetite for, like, more and more and more, you're just going to keep betting. And the thing with options trading is you never have any equity in it. You're just, like, always hoping that like these conditions that you bet on are met, and the day that they're not, everything can go to zero. So even when you do good, like it's just not going to last the same way that long-term wealth will last, because like the mindset that get rich sort of appeal in order to consume, like that is what is going to keep you poor. That's not the right mindset. Number 5 is kind of what I've been saying this whole time. Like, listen, man, options are basically a casino, and they were designed by institutions, and the institutions that designed these are like bazillion-dollar banks or companies or like whatever, but they're not putting $1 zillion into something that they think that they're going to lose. So it's like, if you look around the room and you don't know who the sucker is, you're the sucker. Again, there might be a fraction or a percent of people that can trade options. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying the people selling you the courses, they're not the ones who know. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling fucking courses. They'd be keeping their goddamn mouth shut and then just keep stacking their money, because that's the way the real world works. And that is true throughout society 100% of the time. Number 6, if this is speaking to you and you're watching one of these videos, like you see these like snake oil salesmen in suits going like blah, blah, blah strategy, right? You're mistaking complexity for sophistication. Like just because these strategies are complex and there's a lot of steps to them, like don't mean that they're well thought out. They don't mean that there's any like they bear any fruit. It's like 100 people can do this. One person can have something that works. They show that, and you don't see the 99 people who failed. And like that's what it is. And the guy that happened to win in this case, like the gambler, it's like the guy who went to the casino for the weekend. He won $1 zillion, and then he blew it right away, and he's back to being poor. And that's what the game is. And the final thing is just that you're chasing income. And I kind of touched on this earlier, but options trading is all about what you're getting that year, and that's good. But like, if that stops coming in next year, if you're making $100 million a year options trading and you're spending $100 million because you think your life's going to keep going this way, and then next year you lose all that money and you're in the negative, like you still have all those financial obligations. So it's like, don't confuse having money today with building real term wealth. And look, it's America. It's a free country. I don't care if you want to take your money and go buy a bunch of $1 zillion collectible action figures and blow them up with fireworks. Like, that's your prerogative, but just recognize it for what it is. Do not try to view this as some kind of way to build long-term wealth, unless you are that genius, in which case, let me know in the comments. But it's just for the case, for most of you listening, that is not and will not be the case. And I chased that carrot for a brief period when I was younger and lost money. And I have friends who still do it for years and they're back to broke. And I've had friends where they get ahead. Oh, dude, I made like $80,000 in this past few months. And you can be like, oh, well, like, wow, maybe that is like something good. Talk to those people in a year. Talk to them in 2 years because they're always back to broke, man. That's the way that it goes. It's the way that it goes. Anyway, all I'm asking to you, like a close, I'm going to wrap this up now because I've definitely gotten emotional about it. But maybe you are different. Maybe you're that genius and maybe your system works and you've cracked the code and, you know, you're going to go build your system or whatever, and good for you, man. Or maybe just consider you're one of the 99.99% of the world, because it's probably what you are. Look around the rest of your life. What makes you think you have the secret? You know what I mean? So maybe just consider doing what actually works and investing long term in, like, you know, a broad diversified set of real assets with proven returns. And just invest a little bit every single year. Let time do the heavy lifting and just like practice patience and practice discipline. Okay? Or I don't know, man. Trade your options. Hope this helps some of you. Let me know what you're going to be doing below. Peace.